Well, was he president? Yeah, he was
I
president.
think he was,
Yeah,
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 because I recognize that name. I
yeah, yeah,
remember hearing it on the news all the time
yeah,
back in, like,
yeah.
the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'll tell you another story later about that. But anyway, so that was going on, and he was there, and
So they were flooding through the windows.
correct. They were coming through the window, and I saw them coming in. I go, they're coming in. They've breached the basement. They breached the basement, and I didn't hear anything. I just hear Ronnie and John. I go, what the crap is going on? So I pull up my shotgun, and I rack around, and I stand there in front of them, and they're coming through the window, and they got like 6 or 7 women in front of them, and rifles are hanging, and the men are pushing them forward. I go, what the heck did I do? What do I
The
do I do
men were
now?
pushing the
The men
women
were
forward.
pushing the women forward, and
That later became something they've done a lot since then
and
too.
they did that because what they said at that time, and it was one of the females that was there at the time, Mary Maru. She says she became a foreign minister, and they talked to her years later. They talked about it. She goes, "Yeah, we were pushing them, hoping the Marines would shoot us, and that they would carry us outside into the crowd, so they would come in and just kill everybody or do whatever." So but we didn't. I'm down there. I don't got my rifle. I'm sitting there looking at them, and I go to rack around. They're coming towards me, and I rack around, and they stop. And I'm pointing right at them. I go, do I shoot above them? Do I shoot them? They're not pointing guns at me, but they're coming toward me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm thinking in my head.
I mean,
My,
this is probably like, in split
yeah, yeah,
seconds decision time.
yeah, yeah. At the same time, I'm a warehouseman, but I'm a Marine. But all Marines are basically combat right out of trained right out of boot camp.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there thinking, but I've got tunnel vision, and I'm just right there. I have no idea what's going on around me at the time. So I rack around in my shotgun, and they hear it. That particular sound when you rack around in your shotgun, and they stop and they look at me, and I'm sitting there looking at them, and I went, what do I do? Do I shoot them in the legs? Do I shoot above them? Do I shoot around just to scare them, see what happens? And because they're not pointing the rifles at me, and I'm looking at them, and I'm going, and then I thought of something, and it hit my head right away, and I go, son of a gun. So when you take a shotgun and you check it before you load it, you always rack around, you pull it back, and it makes a very distinct sound. It has a hollow sound, right? That's what my shotgun did. I never loaded it. Well, I had my pistol. I was so busy getting stuff done, just through my day, I never loaded. I had the box of rounds in my pocket. I said, son of a gun. So they start marching, coming toward me again. And I rack another round. I move forward. What I did first was I pulled the trigger. I couldn't get it out. So I pulled the trigger. I knew it wasn't in there. I pulled the trigger because I knew there wasn't anything in there. I pulled the trigger. So I rack another round. They stopped. So I start moving forward. And I went tick, tick, click, tick, tick, click, like 6 or 7 times. And they all backed up into the room again. And it's funny because one of the Marines in a book, Gesell Ayatollah, he says, "Oh my God, Billy Gallegos was down there all by himself, and we were all so afraid because he was so gung ho. He was dry firing on the Iranians."
He was dry firing on the Iranians.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my
You were
God!"
by yourself
So I was
down
by
there.
myself down there.